From Brazilian butt lift doctors to porn addiction counselors, getting new users for billion-dollar unicorn tech companies, selling 7, 8, 9-figure courses, or just getting high-quality leads for big finance companies. In just the last 5 years, I've created over 450 different sales funnels and landing pages. And sometimes I still get asked, Alicia, do I really need a sales funnel? Over the years, funnels have become synonymous with the OG Papa Daddy Russell Brunson. And so a lot of brands think that sales funnel equal internet marketer equal scare me, not for me, I don't need it. However, here is the hard truth. Your funnel is not optional, right? If you have a business, you have a funnel because a funnel exists whether you want it to or not. And a funnel is just all of the touch points somebody has with your brand. From when they first find you to how they become a customer and everything after that, all of these touch points are your funnel. And each one of these touch points can be a leak, right? A revenue leak. And these little leaks sink big ships. Marketing and funnels is just psychology and economics. If you can make these numbers work for you and you understand your funnel metrics and all of these different touch points and how to improve them, you're going to make thousands, if not millions of dollars more to your bottom line. So the question isn't, do I need a sales funnel? How can you make sure yours is making money and use it as an asset to leverage to build a competitive moat around your company? And today I am going to help you to figure out just that. We are going to be mapping out step by step your funnel, right? It's going to go through 3 different phases and it's going to be super easy. It's what we call building out your persuasion experience. So we don't think of it as just a funnel isolated on its own. We think of it as a whole persuasion experience that somebody has and experiences with your brand. So let's get into it. So today we're going to go through 3 different phases, right? Number 1 is attract. So how do people find us and how do we convert those leads? How do we convert that traffic into a lead? Second to that, we have convert. So what is our sales choreography to turn leads into sales and all of the touch points in that? And then next we have the ascend. So what do we sell next and how can we increase LTV? So this is a lot of the revenue, retention and referral strategies come in to this part as well. All right, so let's start here. The first thing you need to figure out is what is your traffic going to be? Now, I'm not going to go super in depth into everything today. I literally made a 1-hour masterclass. If you want to learn more and listen to me talk more about funnels and how to do it step by step, I've got that. So, and that's how to choose your temperature of traffic and how to find which traffic is right for you. But for now, because it's easy, we does the Google ads. Cool. So we have Google ads, right? And now what we're trying to figure out is which channels do we want to compete on and how are you going to get attention? Now, the only way that you can be good at this is to truly understand your target market. So there's a lot of work that goes before this, right? You have to do surveying with your customers and do all of the research. Then you have to do your core brand strategy. Then you have to do your positioning and all of these things put your funnel on easy mode. But at the moment, I'm just teaching you how to map this out. So now we've chosen a traffic channel, right? And now I'm going to figure out what am I going to use to enter that conversation. So as an example on Google Ads, that's typically in-market leads. So AKA, it's usually people trying to find you. But there's a few different ways that you can find people on Google Ads. So they might be asking problem-aware questions like, do I need a sales funnel? But they could be searching in-market questions like best sales funnel agency Australia. So these are 2 different ways that you should be entering the conversation. The problem that I see for a lot of people, a lot of businesses, is that any and all Google Ads traffic, they send it to the same thing or a homepage. That's very, very bad. So for your Google Ads, where you might be sending people is you might have a reviews page. So maybe people search reviews of your company or reviews of things. You might have a lead magnet. Yes, lead magnets work if you do them properly, and they're part of a wider content strategy. I have a video on that. And then reviews, lead magnet, and then you might have your sales page, right? Like your offer page or your landing page. Depends what you call it. So you would have different Google Ads campaigns coming through to each of these. All we're doing here is mapping out the touch points. And you can't fix your funnel or even know what it is until you map these out, remembering that you have one by default. So you map all of this out, and then all you need to do is then go, okay, if they land here, what is the action they need to take? So let's say it's take up offer. And then all you're doing. Now, a lot of other people will be trying to shove a certain sales funnel strategy down your throat, right? But I'm trying to teach you how to think about it. Because step one, who's your target market? You should have already done that. Step two, what's the temperature of traffic? What's the conversation that we're entering in their brain? And then where are we going to send them? So it's very jarring to Google reviews of blah. And so if somebody's looking for reviews, but then they send them to a homepage or a random page with no reviews on it, that makes no sense. So you need to figure out how to enter that conversation. And then you start mapping out the touch points, right? So literally all you do then is, do they take up offer, yes or no? And let's say, I'm just going to build out the yes path. Cool. Now we have our high converting landing page here. This has a strong golden hippo offer on it. This has social proof, but this is also our salesperson, like digitally, right? Either this is an appointment setter if you are booking leads, or this is your salesperson physically trying to get somebody to purchase this. I have many other videos on how to create high converting landing pages, but this is the asset that you're creating. Now from here, again, all you're doing is you just map out, okay, do they sign up? And this is the thing, like, it's not that hard to make a sales funnel. It's hard to make all the assets in a sales funnel, because all you're doing is thinking about what are the steps they're going to take. That's all it is. You're just mapping out the steps they're going to take. But you also need to understand the customer psychology and what's actually going to persuade and motivate them to take action, right? And how to meet them where they're at. You have the curse of knowledge, and also nobody cares about you. Sorry. They just care about the dream outcome you can provide for them. So you need to be talking in their words and showing them, so what, who cares, what's in it for me? Because that's all they're scanning your marketing with. Cool, so we have the offer. Do they sign up, yes or no? Again, this is not everything that you need to map out, but I'll show you an example at the end. Okay, do they sign up? No. You might do retargeting, you might do email nurture, depends what you've captured. But if they do, that's where we get into the next part. So now that we have obtained the lead, what happens next, right? So often marketing thinks they've done their job. Boom, there's a lead. Good luck, sales. But what we need to make sure is that we're actually tracking what's going through. Now, what I often see in a lot of tech companies and a lot of B2B companies is that they have an aversion to having scripts, canned responses, etc., because they want to let their team, have like the creative freedom to do things, and they don't want to make it feel stilted. And like, why is that a bad idea? Well, because you're leaving your revenue up to chance. You're leaving your revenue up to how somebody feels on that day. And scripts are not a way to make somebody feel stilted. It's a way to remove the variable of whether you're going to get that sale or not. So if you have good salespeople, they can make the script their own, right? Like, they need to be trained in that way to make the script their own and to make the script feel personable. That's their job. But they don't naturally know, I'm assuming, what is persuasive language, what are the key problems and target markets of problems of the target market and the words of the target market. You need to have that in the script and informed by a lot of what comes from marketing as well. Now we map out the sales process. This is going to depend for everybody, but let's say I'm doing my sales process. They have the offer. Do they sign up? Yes. They go to a calendar link, and then after a calendar link, they start getting emails because they've booked in. So they get calendar emails, then they get the reminder email, then they have the actual sales call. We call this our diagnosis call. Also, people though, for us, they go through a qualifying questionnaire. Anyway, blah, 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 the diagnosis call. We've got all the canned responses. And see here, all we're doing is mapping out the touch points. That's it. You've got a funnel already. And then the next step will be to how to optimize it. Okay, so now you've mapped out all of the convert stage, right? What is our sales choreography and how are we going to turn that lead into a sale? But what happens here is you start to see, okay, wow, we have the calendar booking page, we have the reminder emails, we have the call, we have the emails back and forth. These are all touch points that can be leaking revenue. How do we avoid the leaking of the revenue? Well, we sit there and we think about what is the purpose of each of these assets. The purpose of the calendar is to get somebody to book. Is it as easy as possible? Does the UX work? The reminder emails, the purpose of these is to get people excited and to actually want to come. So what you should be doing in these is pre-framing people, persuading people, showing them case studies, showing them testimonials, etc., and reminding them of the value. Because the point of this reminder email, as an example, is to make sure people rock up and to help decrease your no-show rates. Then we have our diagnosis, blah, blah, blah. Then you probably send out like a proposal. So I really hope you have a good proposal and you're not leaving it up like in an email or something. Okay, and then once we've done convert, do we make the sale? Where's an decision diamond? Customer, question mark. And then all you have to do, seriously, this is so easy. Proposal, do they become a customer? Yes or no? If no, sales process ensues. If yes, okay, great. What's our onboarding process? So what I want you to remember here in the onboarding process is that people get really wooed in the sales process, right? And they often form this strange bond with the salesperson and they put the salesperson on a really high pedestal. At least that's the case for like agency sales and the types of sales or environments I've been in. So what we want to make sure is that we have these scripts for onboarding. What you want to sit down and figure out is what are some of the reasons for post-purchase dissonance, and you want to anticipate those so you can stop them ahead of time, right? So you want to probably have an onboarding sequence that answers all of their questions and makes them comfortable as well, so that they're not like, oh, I should probably cancel, I want my money back. You want to have a really smooth process. And then after onboarding, okay, well, what happens in week 1? What happens in month 1? What happens in month 3? How do you get referrals? So for example, as soon as we sign up a customer, they get their SLA, they get their invoice, they get their questionnaire, they get some other stuff. Then a couple of days later, they get an email that says, hey, you're awesome, glad to have you on the team. Do you have 3 other people that you know with XYZ problem who you could refer to us and we can help them as well? And we do kickbacks and stuff for referrals. So that's how we do referrals. How do you retain them? Well, you give them a smooth onboarding. There's like a correlation in agencies, for example, like how smooth the onboarding is and how good of an experience a customer has and how long that you're going to retain them for. And then obviously you want to have your processes and systems all in here of how you retain them and get them awesome results. Now, I've obviously spoken super broad and generic, but what's your takeaway here? A sales funnel is just part of your overall funnel, right? When it comes to a funnel, there's 3 stages. There's attract. How do you get the lead? What channels are you playing on? Which traffic should you be going after? And how are you entering that conversation they're having in their mind, right? Not screaming at them the stuff you want to tell them, but entering with what they want to hear and then moving them through that buyer's journey. You're mapping out all of the touch points, the decision diamonds, if yes this, if no this, and you're starting to see what touch points you currently have and when you can start to optimize. For example, I know 99% of you, this offer page will be really bad. I know that because I've audited thousands of accounts and worked with 500 clients. Then you want to make sure that all of your emails are sound. If you don't have that core messaging and positioning, this will all be really hard. You'll have no idea how to do this. Then you want to make sure your sales choreography is dialed up, right? Every single touch point, you want to analyze these things and make sure that they're persuasive. Then all of your onboarding. Now don't get overwhelmed. Start here, clean the room, move to convert, clear the room, and then ascend. Then you can start focusing on, okay, how do we keep customers longer? How do we increase LTV? How can we increase AOV here? Because what this starts to create is this beautiful growth flywheel for your company where if you can get more money out of a customer and you treat a customer like an asset, not like somebody that's just going to pay you some money, then you can spend more to acquire customers. And then with rising traffic costs and it's slower and more difficult, this is the way that you're going to win, is when you think like this, systematically improving things. So, end funnel rant for today. I hope this makes sense. If it doesn't, leave it in the comments and I'll do a follow-up video. I want you to see that this is not overwhelming and a funnel is not optional. journal. You have one, map yours out, send it to me if you want feedback. Like, I'd love to help you. Otherwise, I will catch you on the next video. Thank you.